Okay, Russ here. I have been working on this truck. Well, actually, I've been done with it for probably the past 3-4 months. I'm not sure exactly. I really meant to do a video earlier than this. I meant to do videos all along through the build, but to do it in the time frame that I did, man, I've been busy. So I apologize for those that have wanted to see this video. Let's just walk around it, show you what I've got, kind of how it's turned out and whatnot. We'll go from there. Last video, it was pretty rough. Not much of the interior was done at all. I was still working on the cab. Got a shot of the back seat. It might be too close. This is wide angle, so I apologize if it's a little distorted. Inside, we made a center console, made some door panels that kind of match the outside of the vehicle, kind of the theme of it. Made a inside or a center console there. I have, when I utilize all these parts to build this, is a bunch of parts from 2010 GMC. So I utilize the you can see here the air conditioning and heating is all from the 2010, so it's got the climate control and all that fun stuff we got. So it is here, let me just step up in here. I apologize too, it's not very clean at all, but it's just pretty much how I use it and whatnot. We got the four-wheel drive there. I got, all my different gauges down here. I kind of ran out up on the dash gauges, so I put the RPM down there and the water temp. We got here for the natural gas, because I can either run on gasoline or natural gas. Got a tilt column and whatnot, just a whole bunch of goodies that you wouldn't normally see in this old of a vehicle. They got it so the headlights come on automatically and all that sort of fun stuff. Got the headliner all done. I usually would build plastic headliners that are kind of molded. This time I thought I'll just kind of go for the old vintage look, and my friend Mike, he did a great job on the headliner and the upholstery. Did a real nice job there. But those that saw the video prior to this, here I'm going to go ahead and start it. We'll have it running here. So once I start it, it automatically should kick on to natural gas. Let's see if it does its thing. After, well, actually the water's still, you can see it's fairly cold. Let's see if I can just get it to kick on manually. Nah, the water's still, see, my antifreeze is still a little on the cool side, so it won't kick on quite yet. But got modern stereo system. There it goes. I just heard it click. So now when it's cold, it kind of hesitates sometimes, but all in all, it's pretty good. See, it's running on natural gas now that the green light's on. So anyways, let's pop open my hood here. I better go slowly, else the doors are gonna slam. Oh, to get the cab open, I've kind of already done this, but you got to pull out these bolts here that hold the cab down and undo the steering. Real simple. It's just a quarter 20 bolt that comes out of the steering that drops down. You got to make sure that the back headache rack is pulled out, and it just pulls out, it just slides into place. There's all of these panels on the stake side, they actually just all pull out really easily. So once that's done, then you just got to come over and hit the button, and we raise. Let the doors shut. There we go. Okay, there we go. And it's that easy to come in and work on the motor. So, a few nice things about this, obviously, that it raises, makes it really super simple to work on. And there's a shot of the natural gas system. Here you can kind of hear it clicking. Kind of sounds like a diesel. That's actually these injectors. Right now those injectors are clicking away, feeding the motor natural gas. I got my regulators over here, my lock-off valve. That's the other beauty of this thing. Normally natural gas trucks, you got a big tank in your bed that takes up the spot. Nothing back there. I got a little over a 10-foot bed, and I believe it's about 7 feet 8 inches wide. I got all these toolboxes around in the truck. I got a spot for a ramp that comes out that we can put, that just pulls out all the way out. I won't pull it all the way out because I'm just working with one hand, but that pulls out and we'll set back here on this lip here, and I actually have 2 of those ramps. So you can put on 4-wheelers, motorcycles, whatever you'd like. I got the nice toolboxes there. I got my fuel door for filling the gasoline and the CNG. You can see it's got a pretty decent paint job on it. You can see my image there. Hopefully, I don't know how well that's showing up. It's kind of pointing into the sun. But we got down here the anti-lock braking system. We got the tank for, because it's got the big old fancy air horn and airbags on it. Other side of it. One thing that's real nice too is you can see I haven't cleaned this engine at all since I've started driving it. I have 2,500 miles on it now, and I haven't, like I said, I haven't popped this at all and cleaned the engine since I started driving it. And I've drove it every day here in Utah on these salty roads. One of my concern was, because this engine should be actually lifted up about 2 feet and shoved 2 feet forward. This engine should be cradled right in there, so the front harmonic balancer should be about right up here somewhere. So you can see it shoved back quite a ways back there. But one of my big concerns with that was that you would get all the road grime off the road onto the engine. So I really spent a lot of time, and doesn't look like it, but there's just quite a bit of time, but there's these splash shields in here that keep all the garbage from going up into the fenders and, you know, rot, because these Fords, they love to rust out around here. They got all sorts of different areas, and so this minimizes. You can see how much dirt is up behind my backs of my fenders. Yeah, see, there's really nothing up there. And you can see how much debris is put onto the motor, not too much. I've always seen Corvettes, this is kind of because their front hood tilts forward, and they have a rubber system that kind of does the same thing for them, because the wheels on a Corvette, but yeah, it's very, very, very similar setup. How they keep all the garbage off the motor. Got a bunch of things that took a while too, like the cold air intake here. You can see it grabs air from up front. I cut an extra hole in there and whatnot. Got some fog lights, custom built bumper and whatnot. When I did the radiator, originally this hole here was going to be for my transmission and oil cooler, and there is just too many things. It's too much stuff up front really to make it work all that well. So luckily I had the ability to have these side scoops, and I built those out of fiberglass. One side's my transmission, the other side's the oil cooler. Works very, very well. Yeah, you can see this box up under here. That's where I stuck the air conditioning and heating, because that came out of that 2010 GMC. Those units are very large. It never ceases to amaze me how well engineered new vehicles are. They can cram so many things into a little space. It's absolutely amazing. But that's one of my biggest complaints I've had with all my old vehicles, is they usually have poor heating and air conditioning systems. This thing will burn your hand. Like literally, I go to work and it takes me about 15 minutes by the time I get there. The way this is set up, literally the air coming out is burning my hand. It's really amazing setup. But you can see how I've made an additional frame to lift the whole cab and whatnot, and how much wiring I had to do. My friend Matt kind of helped me out with the wiring. I believe they added about 2,000 feet of wires just to make that work, to come out of my main fuse box all the way back there and all the way forward and up into the cab. A lot of work for sure. So anyways, once the cab is down, I don't really have to lift it to do all my oil changes and everything. I can actually fill my oil and the radiator from from popping the hood. I can check the oil and transmission fluid just from this access plate right there. I can just undo that screw, and that puts me right straight through to the oil and transmission. So the only fluid that I really can't get at is my power steering fluid, and luckily, you know, unless you got a leaky system, that doesn't have to be serviced on a very regular basis at all. So good advertising tool for my two businesses. I own a collision repair shop, and then I instruct paragliding and paramotoring. So all these, like I said, come off, and makes it nice because you can utilize this with that, your bed all contained. This is like 3 feet up, so well, no, that's a lie. I think it's 24 inches, so 2 feet up. So it works really well. We can put on our motorcycles, our four-wheelers. I will post this, and I apologize for not posting any other videos throughout the build, because I always like seeing stuff like that, and I really meant to do that. But so maybe I can do some more in the future and whatnot. This thing, yeah, it's been a blast to build. Family loves it. The kids fit in the back and whatnot, so hopefully it'll give us lots of really good years of service in the years to come. All right, signing out.